Hello, welcome to the new video. In today's video, we're going to take a look at Tyranitar in the Master League. This Pokemon is definitely way better this season because of Kyurem. And let's take a look at this one. And I have to say, with this no legendary team, I also went definitely positive, which is really cool to see because it features at least one Pokemon that you don't really see that commonly. But it makes sense that currently Tyranitar actually has a lot of play, because the cool thing about Tyranitar as well is that if you get energy on this Pokemon, it's gonna hit quite hard against anything else that wants to come back into you as well. The team itself makes a lot of sense as well. We're going to have the lead of Florges, which is of course going to be our answer to main Dragon type Pokemon like the Palkia. Palkia does not really want to go up against, Tyranitar doesn't want to go up against the Palkia. To be fair, Rhyperior doesn't want to go up against the Palkia either, but can play it out thanks to Breaking Swipe. And so we're going to take a look here at the first battle, where Tyranitar goes up against the Heatran. We can resist the Magma Storm, and the opponent thinks, yeah, maybe you're just gonna leave here. Next opponent, we're going to have basically the worst possible lead. This is the worst possible lead that I can imagine is going to be Melmetal, because we only have one good answer against it, which is our Rhyperior. I expected a superpower, that's why I decided to use a shield here. In hindsight, I guess I should have not done that. But let's see if we can still play around it. We have here the Breaking Swipe coming through. We do get the debuff, which is already kind of nice. And what you see me do here is I'm going to try to maybe even... Okay, I still have to go for a charge move. I thought maybe I could even swap out here before I went for the charge move, but I can't. I will get the KO though, and with this we're going to have realignment. And look who's there. It's going to be Kyurem. So what do I do now? I decide to swap. I decide to swap out into the Tyranitar because I saw that the opponent is running Dragon Tail as their fast move, which means that my Florges is really good against this Pokemon. I needed them, like they need to go for a free shock here as well, but I need to kind of keep the alignment with that one. But also with the waiting out here, them going for a charge move and me being able to now go for maybe even a Moonblast against the opponent's Melmetal, I will be able to align my Ground type against the Melmetal again, which hopefully going to work out fine for us as well, as the Moonblast is going to connect, doing tremendous amount of damage. We're going to be able to go into our Rhyperior, and they have to go for a superpower in order to knock us out. Double Iron Bash is not going to do it. And we can go for the near full farm down, and now it comes down to Florges against the opponent's Kyurem. How that's going to go for us? Not well. I don't think I would have had a chance of winning this battle. To be fair, in hindsight, I should have played it out. But anyway, we're going to see here the Kyurem White against us. Not ideal, but also not too bad. This special occasion, I decided to overfarm by a little bit more than I would usually do. Usually I would just go straight for the Moonblast, but I've been seeing people catching those Moonblasts before, so I was a bit curious. They definitely caught the Moonblast here. They even got the attack drop onto it, which doesn't matter because they went down anyway at one fast move afterwards. But they're going to go into the Dialga, and this already kind of tells me, I think, kind of what they have in the bag. At least what I am assuming here right now, which is a team that I see quite commonly, it could be the Palkia. Palkia is quite common, like basically this triple dragon team is quite common, but I was completely wrong. It's going to be the Rhyperior. So we have two Pokemon where I really don't want to have my Tyranitar against, so that is not going to be great. But what is going to be great is the attack drop that I just got against the opponent's Rhyperior, which now allows me to keep my shield for my other Pokemon here, as I can still go for another charge move. They went for the Rock Rocker, which is even better for me, as now I can go ahead, go into my Tyranitar, get some energy advantage, which is quite nice, because I need to go for two Brutal Swings here. And yeah, I think the Dialga is not going to like this one too much. We have the Brutal Swing coming through. They're going to use a shield, but I need only two more fast moves to get to another one. And this is going to be it for this one. Tyranitar takes it, and we can move on to the next opponent. Florges is going to go up against Florges. This is a matchup that really depends on how you think it works out best for you. If you go like me for a Trailblaze here, and the opponent no shields, you can knock them out with a Moonblast. If they go for a Moonblast first and then go for the Trailblaze, they're not going to be able to knock me out. But if they go for the Moonblast and try to play out the two shield scenario, they're going to be better off than what I did there. So yeah, it depends. It really depends. Like it is like here in this case, I guess we win the matchup, but doesn't really help us. We have to swap out now to our Rhyperior against the Kyurem. It is not ideal, I would say. But let's see on how this is going to go. We will see here that they're going to have their own Rhyperior in the back, and that is perfect. That is exactly what I want to see. I can't have the Rhyperior against my other Pokemon. I can't have it against my Tyranitar, because what are going to do? The resisted Smackdown against it? So I'm even going to be forced to use a shield here because I need to get them low. Otherwise I have no chance. I'm going to go for another breaking swipe and I hope that they let the move go through, thinking that Kyurem going to win this for them. And they do exactly this. And hi, I have Tyranitar. I don't care too much about what he's going to do with the Kyurem because you have to go for 2 charge moves anyway. And I should be kind of fine here. This should only be the Fusion Bolt, which I'm easily going to be able to survive. And so, yeah, goodbye. Tyranitar is going to be able to knock you out. Honestly, Tyranitar was a really good Pokemon for me to run. Like, it is definitely way better nowadays meta compared to back in the day. That being said, there's still some Pokemon for this team that can be a bit tricky. For example, Primarina, especially if it would have Waterfall. Here in this case, it has Charm. And because I know what they had in the lead, I know that I kind of need to keep my Florges around. I make a mistake here. Actually, what I should do is I should swap out into my Rhyperior. I have no idea why I stayed in here. It doesn't make sense, because I'm going to swap out now anyway. If I swapped out before already, I would just get in 3 fast moves the entire time, which would have been really great for me. But yeah, I didn't, and that was a big mistake, but I still should be able to go for 2 breaking swipes before they can go for their Awkward Tail, which is gonna be quite a nice thing. And so the next breaking swipe is coming through, putting the opponent into a position where they definitely don't want to be in, as we are going to be able here to get them kinda low with that. They're gonna go for the Awkward Tail, knock me out, and now it's time for Tyranitar or Terrakion. If I waited out the clock, I would have been actually fine here, because I would have been able to swap out faster, and I would have been able to outspeed the opponent because I had an energy advantage, but I didn't. And this tiny bit of a mistake there is going to cost me the battle, because now they're going to be able to survive the hit, and they still got to get to the rock side, knock me out, and what am I going to do with the Tyranitar? With the fast and charge moves are both resisted. So yeah, this was a mistake by me. That was definitely, like, if I just waited out, I would have been fine, I would have won the battle, guaranteed. But yeah, I didn't, and that was my own mistake, because I was still switch locked there at the end of the day. Here you are seeing me using a shield on my Tyranitar against the Ho-Oh. I just want to make sure that they don't have Solar Beam. I've seen a lot of weird sets on Ho-Oh, so I just make sure that we're just gonna be able to get the energy that we needed and just get out of this matchup with a lot of health still left against whatever they want to come in next. And I want to go into their Landorus and I catch the move, and of course it does make sense with knowing what they had in the lead already. So I think that is going to be the best bet that I have here. And we will see me going for a no-shield here again. I could have went for the breaking side before, maybe a bit of a mistake, but I didn't really want to get farmed on even further. And now it's Florges time, of course. And of course I'm going to be forced to stay in for a little bit and try to also turn down the switch lock there. And as we see, the Sensei Storm is going to get the attack drop onto us, which is going to be totally okay, as the Trailblaze is going to get them low. In comes the Kyurem again, and it's Dragon Breath Kyurem. That is going to be so much better for us. We are forced to go for a shield here, but I went for the bait. If the bait is correct, we're going... Okay, we're going to go for a bait now afterwards. If this bait is correct, we're going to win immediately. That is not great. That is really bad for me. That is going to lose us the battle. That is going to be even worse for me. What am I doing? I don't know. I honestly don't know what I did there. Well played from the opponent. Literally, I didn't even need to do any of this, by the way. I could have just went for the Moonblast and it would have been fine. Would have even more say been able to get to 2 of them. Silly, but never punished? Like, how did this happen that I still won the battle? I have no idea, but we can move on to the next opponent. Lovely lead. Honestly, I have to say, if there's one no legendary Pokemon that you should build currently, it is absolutely Florges. Like, this Pokemon is by far, in my opinion, the best new addition to the meta with the move Trailblaze. Because you have coverage now against Rhyperior is mainly the thing for it. But it is such a good Pokemon to run currently. So, like, if you haven't built your Florges yet and you're thinking about it, definitely do it. Definitely do it. By the way, we're going to have Great League later today. I want to maybe make a video before that as well, though, because there are a lot of events recently, and also the next community day has been teased by Niantic on social media. It is going to be the Ice Cone, so I wait for the official announcement so we see what kind of move it's going to get, because it's going to be quite interesting to take a look at least on how good this Pokemon is going to be. Yeah, I want to wait. It's very likely going to be the announcement like 6 hours from when you watch it. I think that's going to be where it's going to be, around there. So definitely stay tuned for this. But anyway, we're going to use a shield here, I think. That's going to be the Dialga. Dialga can be a bit tricky for our Tyranitar, of course. We're going to go for the bait. I hope that they use a shield here, expecting me to go for a hard-hitting move, and they do exactly this. And we're going to get them lower and lower, and we could even use another shield here and just try to farm them. Let's see what's going to happen here. They're going to swap swap out and we catch the move, and that is gonna be amazing, because now we can go for the full farm down here, and I hope that the Alga just cannot farm us down. I hope the Alga cannot farm us, doesn't matter. Next up, Rhyperior. This Pokemon, again, is going to be very solid for us, because we have the Trailblaze. I think they can win the matchup, though, if they go for 2 Breaking Stripe, baits, and then get the debuff onto us. Then they're definitely going to be able to win that matchup, and then do exactly this. They're going to go for the Breaking Stripe, but they didn't get the debuff, and so now it's a +1 Trailblaze coming your way. They're going to use another shield there as well. If they go for another Breaking Stripe, and they don't get the debuff, I can one-shot them. It's going to be the Rock Wrecker anyway, so I can one-shot them, and as I expected, they wanted to swap out of here, and I will take full advantage of this. You see here, they have Dragon Breath, and this allows us to get a lot of energy extra. They go into the Rhyperior, you go for 2 Force Boosts, which allows us to get the most amount of energy without taking another Mud Slap as damage there, and they have a Palkia in the back, but I realize I don't get that in time, so I have to swap out. I make a mistake here by swapping into my Rhyperior though, because it cannot take the move as much as, for example, the Tyranitar could have done, and I can get a ton of energy. But what you see is, I died before the Breaking Stripe was there, which means they're 1 fast move away from getting to their Awkward Tail, which will allow me now to go for the Moonblast, knock them out, win us the battle, and move on to the next opponent. Basically, Florges just destroyed the entire team from the opponent there, which is cool. Anyway, we're going to have here the Florges from the opponent. What we can do is, we're going to be able to, let the move go through. We're going to go for our own Moonblast, and I would like to swap out eventually here. I want to swap out here basically to try to get some energy advantage. We have an ABB style line. We need to get out Pokemon like the Primarina. We go for the bait, because they don't want to get hit by a Rock Wrecker, and we're going to get the attack drop, and we can, because of this, still get to the Rock Wrecker, allowing us to either get the KO and realignment, or get the final shield from the opponent, and either which I'm totally fine with. As we will see, we're gonna get the final shield, and this allows us now to go for 1 Trailblaze, knock them out again, but not before we have to use another shield here. It's going to be the Hydro Cannon, and they are swapping out the Florges, and it all just gets messy here. I just don't really know on how to act with it, and I make a big mistake. I show one for the Trailblaze as well, and then swap out into my own Tyranitar to get some energy lead. I don't have an energy lead now on my Tyranitar. I hope they go into the Primarina so I get some bit of energy. They don't. They go into their Kyurem, and this is going to be game over because, they're going to be able to knock me out here. They're still going to be able to outspeed me, and I could have avoided all of this if I played it a bit better. This is my own fault, and good game there. Could have won this battle if I played it just a bit smarter. But that's like the thing as well. Like, I might not play every battle perfectly fine, but I do realize my mistakes, and realizing your mistakes is the first step of getting better at the game, because most of the time we lose battles actually because you maybe not played the game optimal there. But again, if you want to buy the AF coaching, I completely enabled a Metafy again. It's down below in the in the description. It is also linked in the end card. So if you want to have coaching, I'd always some requests for that as well. Feel free to go there, look it up, and I can give you some direct coaching there for as long as you want, kinda. Would be really, really cool, of course, if people are going to use that service again. Haven't done it in quite a bit. I did do it quite a lot though, and then just stopped because stress with moving and stuff like this was a bit too much for me than doing coaching on the side. So this definitely is something I would like to do again as well. So link down below if you're interested in this one. We can go over your battles, we can do battles together, stuff like this, build teams together. Everything you kind of want towards Pokemon Go we can do, so feel free to do that. Anyway, let's move on here to the Stone Edge, which gonna one-shot the opponent. We could have went for the other move there as well. I was fully aware of that, but I kind of want to BM the opponent. Florges is very good, and the opponent of course knows it as well, otherwise they won't really run it. But Florges, for sure the Pokemon I would recommend you to build currently. Like for the people who don't have the legendary Pokemon. But even for the legendary Pokemon, I don't think there's currently a better fairy type Pokemon than Florges. I don't think there is. I wouldn't even say Animorphs is better anymore. I guess maybe it is. Yeah, maybe it is. Animorphs might be a little bit better, but both of them are going to be fine. I still, by the way, wouldn't run Animorphs with Dazzling Gleam, even though yes, it's going to give you better neutral matchups. It is better to go for grass, not just for coverage. You need it kind of to one-shot something like the Rhyperior, and you cannot do that without grass not there. So anyway, we're going to see here the trailers coming through. We're going to be able to go for the full farm run. I made a big mistake, by the way, by shielding the first Trailblaze and then no shielding the second one after the boost. That doesn't make sense at all. But we're gonna be able to get some damage onto the Kyurem. I can go into my Tyranitar and they swap out into the Ho-Oh. And with this, I'm gonna say goodbye to you because this is gonna be the final battle of today's video. I would really appreciate if you could leave a like here for the opponent trying to swap in their Ho-Oh against Tyranitar. Would really appreciate it. If you want to support the channel even further, subscribe to it, helps me out, it's all free. And with this, we're gonna see here that Tyranitar is going to be able to go for another Brutal Swing and of course wins the battle here, right? Right. Goodbye, see you then.